Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be continuing our recap series on DC Superheroes United over on Gamefound from CMON Games. We're going to be covering updates 59 through 63 today, so just 5 quick updates that we're going to be doing today. There was technically an expansion announced today, so that's why we're doing this recap today instead of waiting until Friday. And I already know from what they have said, because I know the designers have asked for like Friday's recap video that they're going to end up doing to be like an hour and a half long. So Friday, I'm assuming, is going to be a bigger day update that we'll be doing. So, but we're going to be doing this smaller update here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what was revealed and some other things going on with CMON. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're going to start here on the opening page for the Gamefound campaign. The game right now is at $1,592,936, 7,947 backers with 6 days left to go. It's really like closer to 7 days, I believe. The campaign is going to end next Wednesday, probably at 9 p.m. like they usually do. So there is that. I know there's another live stream coming up, I believe, this coming Friday, probably at 1 o'clock. They haven't announced it yet, but more than likely it is going to be out. Last Friday, Andreas said something about wanting to do like an hour and a half stream instead of an hour-long stream because he knew there would be a lot of things to cover. And there have been actually quite a few like different expansions and stuff like that that they have announced, including today. It wasn't like a big major expansion that we got. It was something along the lines of a character pack that we got today. And then we got some stuff yesterday as well that was pretty cool. So we're going to look at all of that today. I do want to put a reminder out, though, for everybody who happens to be at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend that they are going to have the Golden Batman and Superman available there over the weekend, as well as some other things that we're not going to get into in this game because they're not necessarily DC superheroes related. There's some Marvel United stuff that's going to be offered as promos and stuff like that. May or may not do a video tomorrow talking about that. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to do it today. Doing a bunch of stuff with the kids and everything today, so that kind of got in the way. Again, that's why we're doing these so late at night. But yeah, probably possibly do a video talking about that maybe a little bit tomorrow, and maybe my opinions on that, not necessarily wanting to drag down my own comment section about things that, CMON's doing with promos and whatnot. However, I just wanted to make people aware, if you are at the convention and or you're going to the convention today, technically, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this. I'm filming this on Wednesday night. You're probably going to watch this maybe on Thursday if you are going to watch my videos while you're at Comic-Con. And why are you doing that? There's so much better stuff to take a look at Comic-Con. But I just want to make people aware, if you weren't aware yet, that these are available, as well as some other stuff. Again, I'm not going to be at the convention because I'm down here in Florida, nowhere near California or anything like that. So I will not be getting them. However, they are there for you. So we're going to stop rambling about that, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the first update. And our first update is right here. Never miss. This was revealed at 6:50 a.m. on the 23rd. This figure was, I definitely know, because I didn't put out yesterday's or the Monday video until almost the end of the day on Tuesday. I filmed that Monday night, just so you guys are kind of aware why it was so late. I filmed it Monday night, and then it was really late. I didn't want to stay up late that night doing editing, and it was over an hour of footage to go through. And then also the next morning I had to get up early because I did have a funeral to go to for a family friend. I know a lot of death and stuff like that going on around me right now. I don't know why. But yeah, that took up the majority of my day. So by the time I got home to edit, it was very late. So, but this was the update from yesterday morning. It is Deadshot, another member essentially of the Suicide Squad. And it is, I know I said we hadn't gotten one in the update I did yesterday, or yeah, the update I did for Monday night. And then this was already out by the time that video went out. But Deadshot is technically the first stretch goal that is a dual mode character that we've gotten. Before this, all the dual mode characters had been all in expansion boxes. We had Black Adam in the JSA box, and then we had Catwoman and I was gonna say Arsenal, but Catwoman and Red Hood in the Batman box, not Batman box, Gotham City box. I don't know why I completely froze on that, but we had them over there in the Gotham box, and then we have the whole Suicide Squad in their own box as well. So Deadshot here is the first dual mode character we get outside of an expansion box, which is pretty cool. He is going to be included in dual mode, it looks like here, because he is going to have his dual mode figure, 12 hero cards, a villain dashboard, 12 master plan cards, 6 threat cards, Suicide Squad module, and a weak spot card. So let's go ahead, scroll down, and see what this is all about. There is his figure and everything right there. There is his module right there. Says when you get the service of an assassin to help take out a villain. It is late again. I guess he can be considered a hero. In any case, Deadshot's marksmanship is legendary, being able to land a shot just about as devastating as anything in the game, no matter where his target may be. But he's not just sniping from a distance. Deadshot can also evade blows in close combat and use demolitions to completely razz a location with little care for who might be there. And if he's KO'd, he comes back with a vengeance, opening fire as soon as he gets back up. Awesome. Punching as soon as we get up. As a regular conscript for Task Force X, Deadshot can be used when playing with the Suicide Squad team deck included in the Suicide Squad expansion. So he is going to be included in that team deck. For people who don't know and weren't in the Marvel, weren't going through like the Marvel multiverse game, whenever they had like the team decks or anything like that, later on, once they've revealed all characters that were going to be in a team deck, that they had already announced or anything like that, they usually said something in the postings that like, here's the updated list for the team deck. So you can't really just go by, if you're going back and looking through updates, you really can't just go by what the initial announcement for that team deck said, because I believe they throughout the thing, they either put a list, I think, at some point, or they definitively, like this does say right here, they're like, oh, by the way, this character's going to be here. Oh, by the way, this character's going to be here. So it's not until the very end, or probably when you guys get your copies, that you're going to see a full list of team deck or team rosters for the team decks. So let's go ahead and take a look here. As a villain, Deadshot has been tasked with keeping the heroes out of commission, so a shady master plan can be conducted quickly and without interference. To do so, he hounds the heroes, keeping his distance and sniping from across the play area. His threats give him advantage points to help him land precision shots, and also litter locations with explosive traps that not only hurt heroes stepping onto them, but eradicate any thugs and civilians there. Again, thugs and civilians, usually when they're eradicated by the villain, don't count toward your mission. So it's not like, oh, he's just going to take care of the thugs and civilians for us. No, most of the time, unless it specifically states, those aren't going toward your mission total. So him getting rid of thugs and civilians is going to be bad if you're trying to get your missions figured out. As Deadshot KOs heroes, he accumulates KO tokens, playing more and more face-down master plan cards to the storyline each time. If the heroes can't stay out of his crosshairs, the master plan will be done before they know it. So it basically looks like he is just trying to, once again, he's a character that runs down the deck. Because like getting KO'd isn't the problem necessarily, giving him the KO tokens. He's gonna continually, I don't know if it's like a permanent thing or if just on that turn he just starts flipping over master plan tokens. Master plan cards, or if every turn he like does two, one face down and one face up. No idea. Probably he's just gonna do it on his turn, or when he knocks somebody out. That's what I think. Deadshot also comes with a module that can be placed on the Suicide Squad dashboard, included in the Suicide Squad expansion, as well as his own weak spot card, so he can substitute one of the villains in that special multi-villain mode. Deadshot brings his lethal accuracy to the Suicide Squad, firing devastating shots across the play area. So it looks like what we're getting here is he's got a regular dashboard, so we'll go back to that in a minute, but this piece just looks like it lays on top of the dashboard for the Sinister Six mode, instead of like it would have been cool if they would have done that with like Sinister Six mode, where the Spider-Man villains may have just laid something on top of the other squares. That way you can kind of rotate where some of those characters go, and even kind of mix and match how they go on the board. They kind of rectified it in Multiverse when they basically took all the Spider characters from season 1, all the Spider characters from season 3, because there were none in season 2. Yeah, there were none in season 2. And they made like a puzzle piece version with the thicker cardboard dashboards and everything like that. So that way you can swap in any configuration how you wanted the villains to be, not just in the same order or just laying somebody on top and doing it that way. So that's how they're doing it here with this, at least. So that's pretty interesting. The other thing that is interesting is he has a regular dashboard, like I said. He's not going to have that like half dashboard that the rest of the Suicide Squad have, where they have like a what was it? I can't remember the name of it. It was just 2 days ago when I talked about all this, but it's that mode where you're fighting two of them at the same time, but you can mix and match who's the main villain and who's like the accomplice villain in there. It doesn't look like he's getting that. Maybe they might add it later on, but as of right now, he is just getting his own dashboard all on his own. He's not going to be teamed up with any of the other Suicide Squad members, which is pretty cool in and of itself. So just a little bit different thing with that. So yeah, that is going to be Deadshot. That was revealed, like I said, at 6:50 a.m. on the 23rd. So that was yesterday as I'm recording this. And then the next thing that got revealed later in the afternoon was like a midday reveal of just a random accessory, was this right here. We have cardboard upgrades. So this is one of those upgrades that for me is definitively like, you gotta have this, because I've like my locations and everything in the main Marvel United boxes, like they're not thin, they're not like paper thin or anything like that. They are like a little thicker cardstock. But mine always, because of humidity and everything like that, always warped. I do have a little bit of warping issues just where I am for some reason with my stuff. But these cardboard locations have always been great, always been like always sturdy. I don't have to worry about things, being whatever with it. But anyway, so crowdfunding exclusive. So they announced both. This right here, I forgot about this part. They did announce that live stream this weekend. Right here is going to be on the 26th at noon. Again, I'm recording this on the 24th, so 2 days away from now when they're doing that. As an aside, I know people are going to want to say something about it. I know they're not going to answer it during that stream, but I know people are going to be asking about the promos and what's going on with that. I don't think that's going to be the most appropriate place to ask that question. Whatever opinions about people answering questions or not. But I don't think that's going to be the best place to like bombard during that live stream to get answers about whether or not promos are going to be offered in other places or in other ways online or anything like that. So I'm just kind of putting that out there right now. I can't stop anybody from asking questions and whatnot, but if you are watching this and you're going to be doing it in the live stream, watching at the time, probably not going to be the most appropriate place to ask those questions. That's just my little public service announcement for today. There's other venues that people can use for that live stream, with the designers basically going in and talking about this campaign, answering questions about promos for games that have nothing to do with this game is probably not going to be the best thing. That's what all I'm going to say about that. Let's continue to drop down. So got cardboard locations. So for $30, the crowdfunding exclusive add-on gives you a full set of all locations included in the campaign, printed on thick cardboard tiles. The normal locations are printed on 400 GSM thick laminated cardstock, which works fine for this game since locations are not placed together to form a board. However, we understand some players prefer thick cardboard tiles for these locations, so we're offering them offering them the option of acquiring exactly that. Cardboard locations set includes copies of all locations found in DC Superheroes United core box and all of its expansions and stretch goals added to this campaign. It even includes cardboard versions of locations from the retail exclusive core box that will be available at retail before the campaign delivers, for a total of 53 tiles. So these are the locations we're getting right now. 10 from DC Superheroes United. We only ever play with 6. They're offering 2 extra in this one. Most of the Marvel United campaigns had 8 locations. The main core box for this has 10. That's pretty cool. We're getting the 6 locations for Metropolis, the 6 locations for Gotham City, the 4 for Justice Society and Teen Titans, 4 and 4. 4 locations for Suicide Squad, 8 locations for the retailer exclusive box, and then there's 11 locations not yet revealed. So this pack also contains 6 support tokens to help keep the threat cards level on top of the cardboard location tiles. I don't think I have mine readily available. We haven't been able to play Marvel United for a little bit. Usually have them like near me, but those 6 supports are basically like if you look right here, normally you're gonna have the threat card covering this, and on the regular locations it's fine because the threat card does come down a little bit down here. Where those supports basically is like a cardboard piece that goes under there, basically to help the card stay up, so the card's not like whopper jaw this way. It'll just be flat on the board, so it does help a little bit. 11 location tiles. Going into today, we haven't had any more location tiles. The 11 locations, that is an odd number. It's going to bring the whole thing to an odd number because you can see on here it's always like 4 or 8 or 6, something like that. So even if we got like 2 more 4s and 8, it makes me wonder if some of the stretch goal villains, kind of like, is it Fing Fing Foom or Mole Man in Multiverse, who get one extra like they get one location that they come with. I don't remember which one it is, but I think some of the stretch goal characters, they even say in here, of all the expansions and stretch goals added to this campaign, as you can see here, there's no stretch goals in there. So this must allude to the fact that some stretch goal character down the line that we're going to get may have their own location to put into the game. So that's pretty cool right there that we're getting that, and maybe a little bit more of that. So then we're going to get the crowdfunding exclusive cardboard villain dashboard. So we're going to get 60 plus villain dashboards, 1 mission guide, and 4 missions. So for $30, this is another thing on there. I'm not going to go through and read all this because it's basically the exact same thing. But I'm going to read this part. The Villain Dashboards tile set includes copies of all villain dashboards found in DC Superheroes United core box and all the expansions and stretch goals added to this game. It even includes cardboard versions of the villain dashboards from the retail exclusive core box that will be available on retail before the campaign delivers, for a total of 60 dashboards, some of them oversized ones. So breakdown of this again: 4 from the core box, 2 Metropolis, 3 Gotham City, 2 Titans, the PvP dashboard, which is that bigger one from Justice Society, the villain dashboard and Justice Society for Black Adam, the 6 half dashboards from Suicide Squad, the main big dashboard for Suicide Squad, 3 villain dashboards from the retail exclusive core box, 20 plus villain dashboards from stretch goals, and 15 villain dashboards yet to be revealed. I'm going to cut over real quick. We're not going to go over here. We're going to go, this is going to be a spoiler for later on in this video. We're going to go over here and see right here. So right now the game has 23 villains revealed, and let's go with villain 23. So 43 villains total in the game. Not counting, I'm trying to think. So we got 43 villains in the game so far that have been announced. This includes all stretch goals and expansions, all that stuff right there. Let's go back to, where was I? We were right here. So 43 stretch goals. They're saying 60 plus. 3 of them are going to be villain dashboards from the retail exclusive box that we don't know at all what that is yet. Most people, like myself, are guessing Hush, but possibly not. Who knows? More likely it's a Batman theme thing. But so that still leaves, so 43, 46. So it leaves at least 14 more villains to be revealed in the game at this point. So that's pretty cool. We are probably getting a big expansion this weekend. And since we already got the Sinister Six mode, there's probably not going to be like another like villain box. At least not one that has like I'm not Sinister Six, Suicide Squad. So the double S's. We already have the Suicide Squad box with those 6 villains in it. That's already being counted in here. So we got 14 more characters, possibly a Gotham box that will have like an Arkham Asylum box that people are wanting to have in there. Like I said, Friday is probably going to be a really big expansion that is announced on Friday, especially with people at Comic-Con looking at the promos for the different games and everything, trying to maybe entice people to pick up the game during that weekend, talking about their game during the weekend. This isn't running over Gen Con, it's running over Comic Con. There's that. But let's see, 14 more there, and then probably at the 48-hour mark or 50-hour mark, because it's probably gonna be at 1 o'clock on Monday. They are probably going to announce, with the game ending its crowdfunding campaign on Wednesday of next week, on Monday they will probably announce another big expansion with the all-in pledge at that point, and then possibly an exclusive figure, hero or villain with that. So that could accommodate a lot of that, plus the stretch goals of what they've been doing. So of the villains, because they've been coming out with basically every other stretch goal has either been a hero or villain, hero or villain, hero or villain, and now dual mode characters. So yeah, there's a potential for a lot more villains, not just from expansions coming out. I mean, if we go on average, that each expansion's had 2 villains ish. Gotham had 3, Metropolis had 2, Titans had 2, Justice Society had 1, so that kind of evened that out. But every one besides Suicide Squad has had on average 2. That would mean 4 more from expansions coming out minimum, I would think, and then 10 more from stretch goals, not counting what has already been revealed. As I already showed you my list, I've already spoiled it for the day. So that is all that. The cool thing on here for me is that the mission guides are going to be coming back with the mission cards, the Defeat Thug, Clear Threat, and the Joker one, as well as the Rescue Civilians one. I'm excited. I know it's stupid. I'm excited for that and the updated dashboard, because unfortunately I don't have it here, but something did get on the back of my I think all 3 of my things here. There was apparently something on the game table off to the side during one of the game nights, and I unfortunately got something on at the back of it that I didn't realize was on the table. So luckily it doesn't matter for you guys when we film those gameplays, because it is on the back side, so it doesn't affect the game itself. But I'm going to be glad that in a year and a half from now I can finally replace those with the DC ones, because they are basically the same one, unless the multiverse dashboard stuff happened to come with one. I don't know. I didn't see it in those updates. But that is that, and I've rambled way too long about cardboard. So let's go ahead and head to the next update. So again, on the 23rd, late at night, because of the cardboard being released, we have a new stretch goal here, which is going to be Ares. So Ares, another big villain over for Wonder Woman. So yeah, I think she hasn't really gotten a villain since Cheetah. And so we got Ares here. I'm really hoping, what is it? Is Giganta one of hers too? One of her main ones? Or is she more Justice League all together? But it should be a really big figure for us to have as far as a villain goes. But anyway, we got Ares right here with a bang. Deadshot has been unlocked. Next stretch goal is going to be Ares with villain dashboard, 12 master playing cards, and only 2 threat cards. So God of War, let's go ahead and take a look at him. I have his action figure somewhere on here, and I think it's buried over there. I'm not about to dig through it and put it over here next to me. But there is his stuff right there. He does have a villainous plot that is going to utilize the cube, so that is going to be pretty cool. One does not go to war against the God of War. Instead, the only hope for the heroes is to keep Ares from getting to the end of his spreading war track before the master plan runs out. Ares himself is too focused on his warmongering to really care about attacking the heroes directly. Instead, his influence gives them crisis tokens that force them to forfeit heroic actions if they want to avoid taking damage. Meanwhile, Ares keeps putting civilians in danger to cause overflows that represent conflicts where heroes take damage as civilians wipe each other out, increasing the war track. So that's basically putting some mind control stuff on the civilians, basically like the civilians taking each other out. That's why you can't place a civilian in an overflow location. I like the fact of the not metagaming. What am I thinking of? I like the little story that they've been putting in here. on the way that the overflows work and the way the civilians and the thugs kind of operate in there. Like this right here, like, he's doing his warmongering, he's inflicting their minds with war and stuff like that. And so when the overflow happens, it's basically just like the civilians killing each other, kind of a thing. That's kind of interesting how they're putting a narrative spin on that game mechanic. That's technically, even though it might be the exact same mechanic, that they're putting a different narrative spin on it for it. That's pretty nifty there. Henchman Ares only has 2 threat cards flanking him, but they are an integral part of his plan. They are his chief henchmen, Deimos and Phoebus. Deimos keeps adding, I'm mispronouncing those, I apologize. Keeps adding thugs, and I'm apologizing again to fictional characters. Keeps adding thugs around him, moving around to sow trouble across all locations. Meanwhile, Phoebus sparks conflict, causing the annihilation of civilians in his location, further increasing the war track. Then moves on to do the same somewhere else. Thwarting Ares will be the ultimate struggle between heroism and violence. So there is his painted figure. So technically, if he's only got 2 threat cards and they're flanking him, so basically if we're starting here, he's starting up here, and they're starting over here in these 2 locations here, meaning that there's no threat card on the hero's location, on Ares' location, and then the 2 flanking the heroes. Now, again, I think it does say in here that they move around, maybe? Yeah, moving around to sow trouble. So Deimos will be moving around, thinking like Toad from Magneto's deck, moving around and doing stuff there. So he will be covering the different locations effects, but Ares is probably going to be pretty tough to beat, considering the fact that we're getting basically at the beginning of the game, we're getting access to end of turn locations on the locations. So that is pretty interesting there. Next thing we got was today's expansion pack that we got, which was Sidekicks. So this is an interesting pack because it basically takes the concept of pets from Marvel United Multiverse that we're getting, which included, I think it includes 6 pets miniatures, but 7 pets worth of cards, because it gave cards to Lockheed from Marvel United X-Men. So you can either play with him using like Shadowcat like normal, or he can be a pet character that you can throw in the game. But we're going to get these only 4 sidekicks in the game right here. We got Dexstar right there, Chip right here, Detective Chimp, and Ace the Bat Hound. So let's go ahead and see how all this works. So there's our sidekicks right there. I do like the fact that we're going to have tons of different things potentially on the board. And I know some people kind of look at this, especially with where it says other sidekicks down there, kind of look and see how like this is kind of weird. And I thought it was kind of weird too at the beginning, with especially like, the way the sidekicks work kind of thing, but it was kind of interesting. And let me get there in a minute. So anyway, sidekicks, 4 figures, 12 sidekick decks, 4 reference cards. And then we have other sidekicks right here. So basically they're taking some of the human characters as well as the other animals that we've already gotten that are full characters in the game, and we are going to make them sidekicks. So Jim Gordon, Alfred, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen are going to be sidekicks in the game. Of course, Crypto and Gleek are going to be sidekicks in the game. And then finally, Robin, of course, the OG sidekick right there, is going to be in the game for $20. Crowdfunding exclusive add-on adds another twist to the game in the form of resourceful sidekicks to help the heroes in their battles. While this set includes 4 new animal sidekicks, each with their own figure: Ace, Batman's loyal hound; Detective Chimp, the super smart ape sleuth; Dexstar, the feisty red lantern cat; and Chip, or Chirp, no, it's not Chirp, there's no R, Chip, the heroic Green Lantern space chipmunk. It also includes card sets to use the figures of several other characters from other expansions as sidekicks, from other animals like Crypto and Gleek to supportive humans like Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Alfred, Jim Gordon, and the epitome of the sidekick himself, Robin. So there is all of that. Apparently, they don't say anywhere in here like plus other characters that might show up. So I doubt, unless they come with them, later on. I don't think, and maybe they might now that we're past this point in the game or in the campaign, but it might be interesting if they're going to introduce like um, Kid Flash slash Impulse, or if they're going to introduce like Arsenal. I don't know. Speedy. That's what his original name was in the comics. But if they introduce like Speedy to go with the Teen Titans or Aqualad, anything like that, while also giving them main cards, it'd be interesting if they were also going to come with like their sidekick cards. That'd be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and read about what sidekicks do. Sidekicks is a feature players can choose to add to their game, giving them more options and strategies, plus a loyal companion. If a hero chooses to take a sidekick with them, they simply shuffle the 3 sidekick cards into their hero deck and place the sidekick figure next to their hero. Every turn, the player can move their sidekick 1 location for free. While sidekicks are not considered heroes because they don't take damage or suffer other effects, they do provide company, so heroes don't count as being alone in their location. Sidekick cards work just like hero cards, providing an action to the hero and a special effect to their sidekick. They also all get a reference card. I'm not sure, because I don't really think it says in here what the reference card actually does. I don't know, and I can't remember if they're in Multiverse. So if you have Multiverse yet, because you're on the West Coast, please let me know what the reference card, if any, does in there, because I'm not getting mine until September probably. So East Coast, the shipping sucks for East Coast. I not to rant real quick, but I do remember. I know some people had with X-Men or whatever had a lot of problems with not getting the game for a while because there was like that lost shipment from the shipping company they were using. However, every time they use every time CMON or somebody else used that same shipping company, because I believe it was in Orlando, not too far away from me, I got my game pretty early. So yeah, I went from getting it pretty early to I feel like getting games dead last now. So yeah, there's that. So there's Ace the Bat Hound. Let's read what he does. Trained as a crime fighter, Ace can go out on his own to defeat thugs and rescue civilians. He's also an expert tracker, following the villain around so the heroes can freely move toward them, and if needed, he can grab the villain by the ankle and make sure they stay put until the heroes come. So basically a way to like hold the villain there. You've probably seen it on gameplays that we've done if you watch those, where there's a lot of times where like we're planning out on how to make a move, and then we do kind of realize, oh yeah, before we're going to be able to implement this plan fully, they're going to move. So this is a pretty cool way of like keeping the villain where they need to be for the heroes to not have to chase them around to get the final punches and everything on him. Detective Chimp, who I still feel like should be a blue character, but that's just me. Detective Chimp is in his element when he's looking for clues. He is able to find action tokens scattered around using his magnifying glass, and you may charge his card to place an action token in the villain's location, flipping it once Detective Chimp has found the token in order to take it. He can also investigate the villain directly, uncovering the next master plan, and even gaining a heroic token if there's a BAM on it. So like he does have some charge effects right here, and even one card that has regular effect plus the charge effect. That's pretty awesome. That was mid yawn right there. Deck Star right here. This is basically, I mean, I don't think they would give us a sidekick to somebody who's not in the game. Because I would have taken like Supergirl's horse, if that was the case. But I can never remember how to say this, because it's one of those words like you see it in comic books, but then you never hear anyone actually say it out loud, so you don't know how to say it. Because I always call it atrocity or something like that, but atrocitus. Cool. This is his sidekick in there. So basically, hopefully, is meaning that we're getting a Red Lantern somehow in the game, or the Red Lantern somehow in the game. I know a lot of people are hoping for a War of Light / Blackest Night kind of expansion. Who knows? That might be more for a season 2. Hopefully we're getting a season 2 after the season. But there is Deck Star right there, little Rage Cat. And I do love this red energy here. It's not like a fire flame effect, which I'm trying to... Have we had anybody with a fire effect yet? No, because we don't even have fire and ice in the game yet. And the shoe would be green anyway. So, yeah, there's that. For such a cute kitty, Deck Star holds a lot of anger inside him. can even be infectious, turning nearby civilians into thugs. This card may lash out, performing various attacks, or even explode into a ball of rage plasma, damaging everything in his location. He even has a red action symbol on his card, which may be used by certain Lantern heroes to grant additional actions. So I didn't even see that, and they don't show that on there. So yeah, I guess we are possibly getting red lanterns in the game hopefully soon. Probably, I'm hoping Friday with this being revealed. I'm hoping Friday because that would mean that I mean, you're playing this as you, so I'm not sure, because I think, unless, I don't know, because the Green Lanterns are like your card or the one in front of you, being able to use that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. So yeah, we're possibly getting a red lantern there, and then we got Chip, whose name is Chip, and he's Chip, a native of the arboreal planet Hellavine. Okay, arboreal planet right there, and you can see he's got his Green Lantern symbol right, or Green Lantern punch right there with a Green Lantern symbol next to it. So I didn't notice the symbol next to it, but yeah, that is definitely going to be an indication that these are going to be, that Dexstar is going to be Red Lantern, I believe, right there. I know a lot of people were hoping that, because I know a lot of people were asking for Chip. I know a lot of people were probably upset that he's not a actual Lantern in the game, especially when you have a character like Crypto in the game already. There should be no reason this guy is. I mean, he's been around. He's older than me. Apparently, he came out in 1982, and yeah. So there is that right there. In spite of his size, Chip embodies all the Green Lantern Corps is about, wielding his power ring to perform impressive attacks and heroics. His indomitable will can help heroes deal with crisis tokens, and he can even create a force field to protect a hero next to him. Awesome. Moreover, and now is next to him in the same square as him, or is in a location next to him? That's what is going to be the thing. Moreover, all of Trip's cards have green action symbols, so Lantern heroes can use their powering to benefit from that. Cool. Then we got Crypto. Crypto is a loyal companion, contributing to the efforts of any hero who performs actions around him. He is always ready to fly to the rescue, serving or saving a couple of civilians in one go. But Crypto is not just all bark. Sometimes taking a bite out of every villain, henchman, thug, and even careless Kryptonian hero in his careless non-Kryptonian hero in his location. And it also does say on here what you need to play them. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down here. We got Gleek. Gleek is usually paired with the Wonder Twins. He may also help other heroes, putting his stretchable tail to good use by putting nearby thugs or villains in his location. So basically, I was going to say like web shooters, but that's more of a Marvel Zombies, not Marvel United. But basically, Gleek being able to pull people over, to locations where he's at, and hopefully where other people are at, is pretty cool. So Gleek would do anything for a banana, helping heroes swap out any of their used cards in the storyline in exchange for an action token. And then we've got Alfred. So these are basically cards, basically giving Alfred and the other support characters more stuff to do. Let's see. Nobody's reliable an aid. As good old Alfred Pennyworth, he can offer a hero any action token they need. We suggest placing them on his platter, and is able to give medical care to any hero on the brink of collapse. Of course, Master Wayne always gets special treatment, being offered wild tokens and being allowed to choose the card he'll draw. But any hero recovering from being KO'd next to Alfred can expect a nice pick-me-up in the form of an action token. So there's Alfred, Jim Gordon. Yeah, so the reference cards right here are pretty interesting. I'm realizing them here. Alfred, Sidekick, and support card can't be used together in the same game. Same thing up here with, yeah, the reference cards up here for the new guys, for the guys who are already in the game, basically say you can't use the card, you can't use the Sidekick if the hero is in play. And even down here, you can't use the Sidekicks if the support character can be in play. So there's that. So you can't use, basically have Alfred as a support character and use Alfred as a sidekick. So there is that. Gordon, the last good man in GCPD, Jim Gordon, is ready to take the fight to the thugs swarming the streets, and he's even more effective if he's in Gotham City. When things get dark, he may light the back signal, calling the heroes toward him or calling Batman directly to him. Jim is not afraid to get his hands dirty, interrogating thugs to uncover the next master plan or maybe their hidden identity. So there's that. Then we got Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen is a young and fearless reporter, sometimes using the blind flash of his camera to blind henchmen for a short while. That's comical. By interviewing a hero in his location, because we have time for that, he can help them find the card they need most next and place it on top of their deck using his signal watch. Jimmy can call a hero to his location to fight or perform a heroic action there. If Superman is around, he will surely be him. It will surely be him. And then Lois Lane. Oh, we got one more. Lois Lane is an investigative journalist who always looking for trouble, chasing the villains or henchmen, so a hero can go there to deal with them. Ideally, Superman. Her investigation can even help them deal with threats, revealing the next master plan if she manages to finish clearing a threat herself. If Lois manages to tail the villain, you can move directly to them to save the day. And if you happen to be Superman, you get to deal in unpreventable damage. So basically, all these sidekick versions, if you have Superman, you have Batman in the game, they're going to be those players are going to get more benefits from these cards, it looks like. And then finally, it looks like, yep, with Robin, with a lot of psychic experience under his utility belt, Robin will make an awesome duo with any hero attacking or performing heroic actions. When you're together through a dynamic duo with Batman is always more effective. Robin may investigate on his own, approaching the villains or henchmen to not only reveal the next master plan, but possibly delay it. That's always good. And when the going gets tough, Robin throws a volley of batarangs around him, attacking both adjacent locations. So that is that expansion. My opinion on this expansion, I already said with the was ally mode cards that they announced over the weekend, that no, not with the ally cards. What was it that I was looking at? The Aquaman family deck, which was just Aquaman and Mera, where they it's just a family team deck with two people in it. I said it'd be cool to actually do like a real sidekicks mode, and have that in the game. Apparently, the answer to that is using the pets mode for that. Now, people are kind of asking, why would we want to have these characters do that if we already have the character? Why don't we just have the character as a blue figure? I agree with that in the fact that I don't think Ace the Bat Hound. I think some of these guys, like Dexter, maybe not. I don't know. I don't really have much with him. Ace the Bat Hound, I can maybe see just doing this pets kind of mode thing. Detective Chimp should be blue in my mind. Chip maybe blue in my mind as well. The cool thing about this sidekicks mode though too, and why I hope that the other actual sidekicks get put in there, is because you can have, because it doesn't say anywhere that multiple people can't have sidekicks. I think multiple players can have sidekicks. Support characters, I'm not sure about. Support characters, I feel like there's only supposed to be one on the board. I don't remember anywhere in there where it said only one support character was in the game at a time. But going under the assumption that one support character is in there at a time, you can have a 4-player game with all 4 of your characters. Like, let's say they came out with Aqualad and a Kid Flash. You can have Superman, Batman, Flash, and Aquaman in the game, and then have as a sidekick character Supergirl, Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad, trying just to give you more options throughout your game, to give you more things to do, kind of thing, more benefits for having that other character around, as well as having the benefit of one of the support characters on the board as well. I think it could be, especially in a game where if you're you got to team up and no one really wants to play as Crypto, but you want to use Crypto in the game, you can always have him partnered up with Superman as his sidekick or pet, or whichever way you want to have it in there. If you want to play with you want to have Batman in there with Catwoman playing, and there's only 2 of you, but you then also want to have Robin in there but not have to necessarily control a whole character using the ally mode cards, you can always throw the sidekick version of the character in there. So there's a lot of cool like customization that I feel like you can do with it. Is it like probably the most ideal thing? I don't know yet because I haven't gotten my pets expansion for Marvel United yet. So I can't answer that without that. And that's the kind of the unfortunate thing with some of this is that this campaign is going before a lot of people are getting their multiverse stuff. So being able to like see how certain things work and then seeing how things work in the Marvel version and then not being able to see how it works in the DC version. It's it is what it is. The shipping and all that stuff like that. So I'm not gonna harp too much about it. But yeah, pets. I'm a little excited about it, especially because we're not only getting these 4 characters right now. I don't remember the price of the Marvel version, but it did have 6 pets in it. But it also only had 7 cards, 7 characters with the cards. This one has 11. So there's also that. But pets looking pretty cool. I will definitely be picking that one up. And then over here, the last update I'm pretty sure is a magician new what is that, magical new stretch goal right there. So the next stretch goal we get is Zatanna. So we're getting another magical character, hopefully, meaning we'll get a either Justice League Dark or Shadow Pact team at some point. So Ares was defeated. That was this afternoon at 3:41 p.m. So almost 3 hours after the Pets expansion was announced. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Zatanna does right here. Don't know if that's just some eldritch octopus thing, whatever, or if this is the first glimpse of Starro. Who knows? Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, they are mentioning that she's become a pivotal member of Justice League Dark. So more than likely, if we're doing a team deck, it's going to be Justice League Dark and not Shadow Pact, probably. So, but it looks like she does have ignore any additional actions required to perform movement or leave location. So that's pretty cool. She gets a permanent effect of being able to move around. And if location's like, no, you need a 2 movement to get out of here, she's like, no, not going to deal with that. So that is a pretty cool card. I wish everyone had that card. Zatanna is a skillful magician with lots of spells in her bag of tricks, not back of tricks. Though the way they're all spelled backwards can be quite confusing for the uninitiated among them. Explode, because I'm not going to read the word backwards, will blow up an enemy. You are saved, rescue civilians, what is it? Bind their feet, immobilize enemies, protect me, keeps Zatanna safe, and renew it recharges equipment. Awesome. So she can recharge other people's equipment. That is awesome because she doesn't have equipment on her own. She can recharge other people's equipment. Always good. And if things get out of hand, her escapology abilities always allow slip by any entanglement. So that is pretty good. She's probably going to need to skip through that entanglement to the fact that she's got that tentacle creature coming after her. So yeah, that is going to be Zatanna. What is next in the master plan? Who knows? That is the end of all the updates. As always, we go back over here to the spreadsheets. We're going to go back over to this spreadsheet first, figure out where we are. So on day 15 with 1630 left to go. It's not going to hit by the time I'm done recording this. It's 11:41 right now as I'm recording. So this isn't going to get unlocked until tomorrow because the game is at I was scrolling looking for stuff earlier at 1594. So yeah, we're not hitting 1630 today. So, or tonight, probably be hopefully tomorrow afternoon. But we're at 31 stretch goals right now, if I'm doing all that math correctly. Again, we're on day 15 right here. Again, going through as we always do, comparing to Marvel United Season 1. I highlighted them this time so I can keep track of them. But we were around the same area. We're on day 18/19 of that campaign. So again, we're about 3 or 4 days ahead of the funding on Marvel United Season 1. So that's always good right there. We were unlocking Kingpin, or getting ready to unlock Kingpin at this point. They already unlocked Elektra here as well. So we've got that. Over here at X-Men, though, again, we're on day 3 that we just unlocked over here, heading for our second, I was going to say dual mode, anti-hero character with Emma Frost over here on X-Men and at Multiverse. We're in the middle of day 9 on the same funding goal, with the Civil War box actually getting ready to be announced. But they also, at this point, were releasing the stretch goal box re-releases. So meaning that Marvel United 1 and Marvel United 2's stretch goal boxes were being sold here. That's why you see so many stretch goals being unlocked there on day 9 and whatnot. So that is all the comparison I'm going to be doing with that. Here again, going back to it and looking at the unlocked characters, you do see that I have some people highlighted in yellow on this page, and it's because I did want to, at least for this video, I'm probably going to take that coloring off on the next video, but at least for this video, I wanted to point out the characters that are getting dual mode, not dual mode, that are getting sidekick versions in this one. So because again, I had to create a whole new column. So we are currently at, like I said, 49 heroes in the game with 23 villains. We've got 10 dual mode characters. We've got, didn't get any new card packs that I can think of off the top of my head right here. Yeah, because I got the Suicide Squad one right there. So we're currently at 21 card packs. That's including the new superhero / supervillain cards from before and those complication cards. And yeah, I have ally mode on here as well. So that's all the cards we're getting. We've got the support characters. Haven't got any new support characters added yet. Be cool if we could get, like, you know, Carol Ferris thrown in there, maybe getting I was gonna say Linda Park in there, or Iris West in there as well. I'm trying to think of other support characters. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to just kind of ease into support characters and see how people like them before we get some of like stuff like was it Bibbo Bobowski and I was gonna say Harvey Dent, but it's not who. Harvey Bullock. That's who I'm thinking of. Harvey Bullock or Renee Montoya, or any of those like classic street level characters that are not necessarily like superheroes, but they're part of certain team members. And I know Carol Ferris is technically a Star Sapphire, so we might still get her if there is a Warlight box. But regardless, yeah, it'd be kind of cool if they're just going to ease into the support characters this season, hopefully into season 2 to kind of dive into a little bit more, getting those more support characters thrown at us. And then again, their sidekicks right there. So that is everything for DC Superheroes United days 14 and 15 of the campaign. Again, we'll probably be doing a video late Friday night on because of the new live stream that's going to go up at noon. I may, depending on a bunch of different things, I might try to get that video done a little bit earlier. But again, I always try to make sure that day's complete stretch goals up to 12 o'clock my time is done when I do a video. I don't know why, it's just how I am. But yeah, hopefully I don't do those too late, because I really want to get in to see what is going to be in that expansion. I'll be watching the live stream live myself. So there is that. So with all that said, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this one. Ran a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but I was basically just rambling about things for a long while. Again, thank you guys for tuning into this one. Make sure if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like this video if you have been enjoying on it. Comment to me what other characters you feel like would make good sidekick characters. Should the sidekick characters have been just blue figures, some of those, and just been playable characters in the game? Make sure you comment all those things below. Please make sure to keep the comments, non confrontational about promo things that are coming out, because that's not the intent of these videos. I can make another video to talk about those things if people are interested in hearing my opinions on the promo situation. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.